Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and it is April of 2019. This year is just chugging along, and it's already almost May of 2019. It's pretty crazy, if you were to ask me. So, what are the various announcements? Oh no, it's working, man. They don't tell me nothing. But I did hear from that General Lotz guy. He was all like, "Well, thanks to that new job, he just doesn't have as much time to devote to videos." But he is going to try to get out. Okay, I'm not going to talk about myself in third person. That's just weird. Okay, so since I got my new job, as I mentioned in the last month, I don't have a lot of time. I work 10-hour days every day. So you get home and you're like, ugh, you're like a zombie. So I can't really work on videos during the week, but only on the weekends. So that means there's just going to be one review per month. Most of the time. It depends on what you determine as a review. A fully edited game review, there's going to be one per month. As of right now, I just finished recording the video footage for Revenge of the Sith. As you can see, it's still set up back there. So that's coming out, I believe, next week. I should have enough time to edit it Saturday and Sunday of next week. And so that'll be out. But starting in May, there's going to be one game review per month. Which kind of sucks because I wanted to do two per month, but I just don't have the time for two anymore. Especially if I want them to be of any appreciable length. With Revenge of the Sith, for example, that's an easy game to do because I don't really have to talk about too much story elements in it because it's Revenge of the Sith, the game. If you watch or read the book, you know what happens. But like, say, Bounty Hunter, which is coming out next month, that's going to take a little time. It's probably going to be at most 15 minutes long. I'm going to have to really shorten a few things, have some brevity just so I don't have to edit so much. I'm still going to be specific like I am normally, but not as super specific. I'm not going to like go level by level like I like to do just because there's not enough time for it. Thankfully, a lot of the games I'm going to be doing aren't that important in terms of that. One really easy one is going to, of course, be Star Wars Connect. I mean, basically, it's just like going to be 15 minutes of me going, "It's the worst thing I've ever played." Let's see here. We got KOTOR. KOTOR is going to be an interesting case. This isn't even going to be for a couple of months, actually. This is going to be in December. Oh, yeah. One thing I did not mention is I've actually been buying up some Xbox games recently because I wanted to start doing some Xbox stuff. So I went ahead and bought up the Xbox version of KOTOR. I was originally just going to do the PC version, but for Star Wars Year 1, because yes, there's going to be a Star Wars Year 2, Star Wars Year 2 is going to have a number of games from this year, but it's also going to have some games that weren't scheduled this year as well. One of those games that wasn't scheduled this year is, of course, Episode 1 on the PSX. But anyway, back to KOTOR. I'm going to review this version this year. This is going to be a very short KOTOR video, only about 20 to 25 minutes. Originally, KOTOR, the PC version, was meant to be an hour long. No way I can do that this year. No way at all. 20 to 25 minutes, that's pushing it. You got to remember, I got to play this entire, 40-hour RPG, and actually write a script, and edit it all, and I get, 2 days out of the week, if that. You got to remember, I have a life now. So I can't just sit in front of the computer all day editing, hours and hours of gameplay footage. I really have to budget my time wisely. So, yeah, doing 20 to 25 minutes, that's probably the best I'm going to be able to do. So, Star Wars Year is still a go. It's just going to have to be pared back a lot. One thing I am canceling, actually, is I was going to live stream me assembling some Lego kits. Not going to do that this year. In fact, those Lego kits that I have, I'm not even going to assemble those. They're just going to go back into storage where they were. Mainly because I discovered some Chi-Com Lego sets that are really affordable. And I'm actually going to pick up some of those. And I'm going to do live streams of 2 of those in 2020. Because I don't have time for that. I ain't got time for that. The 3 sets I'm going to pick up, the Chi-Com ones, I'm going to buy the small Imperial Star Destroyer, the small Venator class Star Destroyer, and the big 4-foot-long Executor. They also sell a light-up kit. I'm going to buy that too. I originally wanted to buy the big-ass SSD. I wanted to buy the big-ass Imperial Star Destroyer and the big-ass Venator, because they're actually fairly affordable, really affordable. Then I realized I don't have room for multiple 4-foot-long models. Which kind of sucks. But I have a shitload of plastic models that are sadly in boxes. So yeah, I'd rather do those than the piddly crap that I got over there. Like the T6 shuttle, like, who gives a shit about that? The Sith Infiltrator is fine, but which would you rather see? Sith Infiltrator or Venator? The Venator that I'm going to get, it's not the best. I might try to modify the design. It's not as... The prow of the ship is supposed to be flat. This one kind of points down like it's some kind of aerodynamic car, you know, and it kind of annoys me, but it's still a really nice set. The Imperial Star Destroyer, the small one, is really cool looking. It is excellent. Now, I already have an Imp Class 1 Star Destroyer from the Star Wars Collector's Fleet, but this one, I really want to do a Lego of it just because I really like Lego. And the Chi-Com version actually has a better bridge window. The Lego version is actually considerably shittier. So I'm looking forward to that. And the SSD, I've always wanted the Collector's Fleet SSD, but they're like $300. I ain't paying $300 for a ship, but we'll pay $100. So yeah, that's something to look forward to in 2020. The live streams are still going to be once a week, so do not worry about that. As of yesterday, Rain and Rage and I all did a video on, we worked together to do a video on Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. It turned out really well, and that's going to go up on May the 4th to commemorate Star Wars Day. We're going to work on, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith later. I'm not sure if I want to do that once a month or once a week. I think I'm going to do it once a week, depending on how I can get the recording times to work out, because everybody's got, to work and all the rest. Getting all the stuff to work, is not an easy prospect. Let's see, Star Wars, in addition to actually not even Star Wars, thinking about 2020 when I'll have more time, but gonna start doing some more Xbox stuff. Specifically, I've bought up some Xbox games that I intend to do reviews on at some point, such as Brute Force here. I'm actually gonna live stream this at some point soon, because Brute Force is actually a pretty fun game. It is a third-person shooter that it ended up getting forgotten after a while, which is kind of hilarious. Originally, this was supposed to be the big killer app on the Xbox, whereas Halo was just supposed to kind of like get people excited for it. Yeah, that didn't work out like that. It's one of those games that was supposed to be this big thing, and it got one game. This was actually pretty cheap to pick up, and it's a very nice case. It has a few little dings and things of that nature on it. But you gotta love the background here. Download new single player and multiplayer missions from Xbox Live. Oh my god, that's where gaming started to die. You look on the back here, it's just kind of hilarious. Content download. Of course, it doesn't have HD TV 480p. 480p! Oh my god! You can see all the P's. The next live stream, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be... I'm actually going to be doing live streaming a little differently. As some of you may have noticed, most of April has been Wolfenstein the Wolfenstein Old Blood. I'm just going to be playing games to completion now. And the next live stream is going to be of the Xbox version of Doom 3. This is not my original copy, but I had to rebuy the collector's edition. And Doom 3 on the Xbox is great. Speaking of Doom 3, for a moment, ladies and gentlemen, Doom 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. And it still looks damn good to this day. I actually introduced someone to that game fairly recently, and they're just absolutely loving it, like, a lot. And it's just really cool to see one of my favorite games through the eyes of someone who has never played it before. Doom 3 really had some absolutely amazing graphics for 2003. It had lighting that I still think holds up even to this day. And it was actually pretty creepy, especially for the time. And really, even to this day, really. That's one of the things I did not like about BFG Edition, is that I didn't like that flashlight, and I didn't like the fact that it was way brighter. It really kind of ruined the ambiance by being brighter. I know everyone loved the Half-Life 2s from that time, but honestly, having played Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 doesn't hold a proverbial candle to Doom 3. Doom 3 is just a much better game all around. And that's all I have to say on that one. Let's see. Also in 2020, we're going to be doing some Halo stuff. I actually have rebought a number of Halo games that I had parted with over the years. Most notably, I rebought the entire Halo trilogy, which I didn't actually have anymore. I picked up this, the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. Uh, I really liked the Anniversary edition of Halo. I'm going to play it on stream with the old graphics because it does have that. And I think old graphics kind of run in a crap frame rate, but it at least is 16 by 9. I picked up Halo 2. This is just the basic edition, but I got it for a good price. Complete in box, and the disc works perfectly fine. Now, back in the day, I did not have this edition. I had the special edition with the metal box, which, you know, at the time, it's like, ooh, it's the special edition. It doesn't give you anything. You know, if you buy the metal box, it's literally just a metal box. We got Halo 3. It's, of course, not my original copy. I still have my original copy, and it had a metal box, and, you know, it was actually more worthless than you could expect. It was more worthless than this one. At least this held the game. That piece of crap didn't even hold the game, and it got scratched up because of it. Also, later this year, when it comes out, I'm going to be live streaming potentially co-op. Actually, not potentially at all. I'm going to be live streaming co-op Wolfenstein Youngblood. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but I'm kind of impressed by Bethesda a little bit. If you buy the Ultimate Special Super Edition, which is only $10 more than the basic edition, at $49.99, which is pretty good, you can actually use what's called a buddy pass, and somebody else can play it with you that doesn't have a copy of the game. That's your Ultimate Edition. You actually are getting something for it. But that's people for you. You know, that's the, game developer mentality. You know, it's like, we'll give you an expanded Super Edition that's basically just a piece of crap statue. Bethesda is not perfect, but you know what? I'm glad they did that. Let's see what else we got here. Can I start trying to stream some PS3 games before too long? I gotta actually get a new PS3 since the Blu-ray laser broke on my PS3 Fat. Because I really want to start doing Demon's Souls. I've not actually beaten this game yet. My PS3 broke before I could really get any further in that game. Speaking of From Software, ladies and gentlemen, I do intend to live stream at least one episode of, because I haven't actually had a chance to really even play it by myself, that new From Software game. The first name of the game I can't ever think of. It's just like, I cannot remember what it's called to save my life. But it's like Shadows Die Twice. It's like, not Tenchu, not Sonichu. Whichever one, whichever name it is, it's the latest From Software game, and it's really quite good. It's very different from Dark Souls in some respects, and very much the same. You know, you have the Estus Flask, although it's called the Healing Waters, you know, the Fantasy Gatorade. You have, you know, like the Homeward Bone, but now you carry it with you everywhere you go, so you can just teleport back to the bonfire. That's fine. Use healing. You do use Estus shards from Dark Souls 2 to level up your Estus Flask. What's it called that? But you also have like little healing charges. They're called healing pellets. But really, the combat is what is completely different about Shadows Die Twice. The combat is much more fluid, much more fast-paced. You don't circle around. It really centers around kind of parrying in some respects, and the parrying is actually made good. I enjoyed what little I've played of it so far. And I'm looking forward to actually getting to beat that game. It's very much a glorious Nippon game, because it's set in, you know, the feudal Japan era. But it's really cool. They really embrace kind of the cheese of it in some respects. Because they got, like, these guys that are, like, 8 foot tall with, like, giant katanas. Like, is gigantism a problem in feudal Japan? I'm not sure. You know, but overall, I have found it to be a pretty damn good game, and I'm looking forward to actually playing it. So yeah, the YouTube channel is progressing apace. Star Wars Year is continuing on as it should. We're going to start looking at some Xbox games in 2020. And let's see, is there anything else I wanted to mention about games? Oh yeah, one other game I want to mention that looks like a lot of fun that I went ahead and picked up is that. The Army of Two trilogy. I found that for cheap. It looks like a fun, really super cheesy third-person shooter series. I saw some videos of it on YouTube. I'm looking forward to actually going through this in 2020 as well. This is back when EA actually made the Vinci Gams and didn't make, you know, DLC simulators. I'm looking forward to that. I don't actually have it with me, but one of the other future live streams, I think after Wolfenstein Youngblood, is going to be of a game for the Xbox called Crimson Skies High Road to Destruction. Crimson Skies was sort of it's basically an aborted franchise. It had a PC game, which was its own thing, High Road to Destruction, a tabletop RPG, and I think like one or two novels, and then that was it. That's all you heard from it. It's sort of like a diesel punk kind of future. Well, it's not a future. It's a diesel punk 30s, where the United States balkanizes somehow, and there's sky pirates, and you play a sky pirate, and you gotta stop the Eviltons from killing the peoples and things of that nature. So yeah, it was High Road to Destruction was a great deal of fun. The combat was absolutely excellent. The story was actually pretty. When I say it was good, it wasn't like novel quality. Although it did have a novel, and yes, I did read it, but it was nice pulp. And so that is all I have to say for this update. Things are going good, ladies and gentlemen, and they're just gonna get better. I'm looking forward to doing that Doom 3 live stream because goddamn, that game is good. And so, I am General Lotz, and I'm gonna wish you good, Halo 3. Gotta collect them all. Lego 2. Or whatever makes you happy. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and if you can, please consider supporting me on Patreon so that I can continue bringing you this awesome content.